Guardian now, Paul.
Yeah, outrage over police access to 50 million driving licence to run face checks. So, of course, we've all been arguing over the last few years about whether we should have sort of this face recognition technology to catch shoplifters or whatever. There was always going to be a back door, and driving licence, which I've just renewed mine the last couple of months, actually, is now that back door. And whilst I believe this is very likely to help the police, it's still going to be a huge infringement on personal liberty, which for me is a big deal.
Yeah.
I struggle with that. I'm very uncomfortable with it. However, I think we're on a path now which is irreversible, and that's the way we're going to go. And we're going to go that way until we realise quite how dangerous that is.
Well, and even once we have realised, I doubt it will turn back. I mean, I've always thought it was quite interesting that we lived as a civilisation for hundreds, arguably thousands of years, under the impression that we were being watched in a supernatural sense, that people had a sort of religious conscience which would have some effect on their behaviour. And I remember even being quite young, I know this sounds kind of crazy, but thinking that my ancestors, my grandfather when he died, would be watching me. I'd have a sort of sense of that. Yeah. Even now, they say if you put up these large-scale sort of cardboard cutouts of police officers in windows, it actually has an effect on people's behaviour, even though they can see that it is obviously a cardboard cutout.
Even actually a pair of eyes is enough to have that impact. Yeah, it stops crimes being committed, stops shoplifting and whatnot.
And so all this, the degree of surveillance we're coming under now, and I mean, if you ever drive through London now, you sense that your car is being watched at all times. There is never a moment.
I am hardly urinating at all. Anywhere. I used to just go wherever I wanted.
You're in that stage of a relationship when you can't fart.
It's like that's what I'm like now in central London. But what's crazy is how it's actually already law. It got put through. It was like a little line as part of legislation that's already gone through. So they already have that right to do it. They can just sort of press button. They can go to if you want to be at a protest, you want to protest against vaccines or whatever it is that our wonderful viewers, not judging, wanted.
but just slightly.
No, judging. The vaccine thing, of course, I mean, that is very relevant because a lot of people felt that was moving towards a sort of bio-identity markers and so on.
Yeah, well, that's it. Well, if you had protested, they could have gone there. You wouldn't have worn a mask, I assume, if you were protesting against the vaccine. That would be sort of somewhat hypocritical.
That would have been weird.
And then they would have got your face.
With the eyes,
they would have seen who was interested, and then they could have checked you up and see whether you've had it or whatever it is. I don't know. Point is, this extra level is not good, and it's become automatic.